Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the first official 2019 Ram 1500 Limited with 200,000 miles.
Hey everybody, welcome to Truck Central. Mr. Justin Wheeler here, and this is the new season of Truck Central, sponsored by Real Truck. In today's video, I have the pleasure of bringing you the official, the first long-awaited 200,000 mile update. Now this video isn't going to be like the other update videos we've done in the past. We're going to present this one in a little bit different way. I'm going to tell you how I feel about this truck after 200,000 miles. After 3.5 years, 200,000 miles and change, 6,000 hours, what do I still love about this truck? So what you see before you is a 2019 Ram 1500 Limited, the high mileage edition, of course. And this is her in her very natural form. Always dirty, always covered in dirt and mud, because this is not a pavement princess by any means. A very, very large amount of miles on this truck are dirt roads, gravel roads, crater roads, towing in those environments. This thing gets down and dirty. I'm not kidding you. My driveway to where I'm sitting right now is what some folks would consider off-roading. That's my daily drive. And so this thing has not had an easy life. So when I tell you what do I still love about this truck after 200,000 miles, understand that this thing hasn't been babied to any degree. In fact, it's been quite the opposite. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. My favorite thing about this truck, and if you've seen our other videos, you probably could guess, my overarching most favorite characteristic of this truck, the ram boxes. There's absolutely no downside to how this operates. There's no downside to being able to open your waterproof, locking, electrified toolbox while keeping your feet on the ground and it being a quick, seamless just transition out of the truck. It's fantastic. However, it's not really good enough for it to just be theoretically valuable. It has to operate in a way that's reliable and actually functional. So, on paper, these make sense. You keep a full-size bed. At least you can still fit sheet material. It's it's over 48 inches wide in between the inner fenders or, bed sides. So you don't compromise any space on the inside. You have built-in locking weatherproof boxes. And it doesn't get any simpler than grabbing your impact driver or your half-inch impact or your sockets or your tow rope. There's a machete in here, a shovel, straps for days. Like it doesn't get better. And so sticking true to the whole concept of this video, after 200,000 miles, my opinion on these Ram boxes has not changed one bit. They have not failed. Never have the buttons not worked, the locks not worked. Never have the lights failed to come on, the outlet failed to power. Never once have I opened these and it has been wet inside from the car wash or the rain or whatever. Never once have I been driving down the road and the latch just gave out and it just opened up going down the highway. They've just always worked. So if the Ram boxes are my most favorite, that implies that I must have a second favorite thing about this truck, and I do. It's towing. Towing with this truck is a different experience than towing with any other half-ton that I've had. And it's a combination of things that makes towing with this truck so much more enjoyable than in a regular half ton, or the half ton of 10 years ago. And that is the air ride suspension, which makes hooking up to your trailers an absolute breeze. And it also gives stability while driving. This thing never, ever, ever squats. So the air ride makes this thing just convenient and a joy to hook up and pull down the road. And even with the 321 gear ratio that I have in this truck, man, it doesn't get much better from a half-ton perspective. Now, I know that there are better towing rigs out there. I'm not trying to say this is going to outperform in the 3/4 ton class. I'm saying that you're not going to get a better half-ton towing truck. A factory equipped one. And I stand by that. And one of the nice things about towing with this truck is not only do I have your standard tri-ball outfit here, we've also got the big boy in the bed. I'm telling you, this thing almost has more balls than it knows what to do with. But it is really nice having that gooseneck hitch for those just-in-case moments. Now, not everybody is in the same situation I'm in when you don't know if you're going to need to hook up to a gooseneck trailer or something else. But if you do have gooseneck trailers at your disposal, having one of these things is really nice. And having one that can operate in a ram box configuration with an air ride suspension is really nice. So you can get one of those at Real Truck as well. We'll leave a link to that down in the description. So when it comes to towing, admittedly, what's in the back is probably pretty important, but don't forget about what's in the front doing all the work. And the third thing that I still really love after 200,000 miles is this 5.7 liter Hemi. Now, I got the non-e-torque flavor. I believe that you're probably running out of time to get the non-e-torque Hemi. But this Hemi, let me tell you, is just, I couldn't be happier with it. And I'm not going to give you the subjective opinion. I'm going to give you the objective opinion. So just like when we were in school and we got report cards for our performance, I won't let this truck be put on display like this without sharing its report card with you. So I get oil analysis done periodically on this truck, and I had one done at my 200,000 mile oil change. Now, I might put this on the screen for you to see, but let me just tell you, let me read what the scientists said about the Dusty Dodge's oil analysis. This is another great report for your Hemi's file. Wear metals remain in a good balance with each other and averages, so we don't have any concerns about how your parts are wearing under the hood. The high flash points show that there wasn't a measurable amount of fuel in the oil, and it was free of coolant too. The viscosity of the oil stayed in spec, and low insolubles show oil filtration was effective. The TBN was getting low, reading at 1.7. Great work. Great work. The TBN is basically just how much, how do you describe it? Basically how much additives are still left in your oil. So it's not a sign of a problem with the motor. It's just basically saying how much longer could I have gone without an oil change. And I was at 9,423 miles. Yes, I changed the oil every 9,000 to 10,000 miles. So everything is good. In fact, every measurable element in the oil, and I'm talking zinc, phosphorus, calcium, boron, potassium, silver, manganese, nickel, copper, lead, iron, everything in my last oil change was at or below average. We've basically got a gold star student here. 200,000 miles, 9,000, 10,000 miles between oil changes. This thing is running at its peak performance. And like I said, I do not go easy on this truck. Let's look under the hood. Just in case some of y'all think I might have come and swapped this thing, and that's the only reason it's running so good and so long. What's that say? Oh yeah. It's a Hemi. It's filthy under here. Don't get me wrong. I don't clean it. Ever. I take that back. I hosed it off once. S&B cold air intake from our boys at Real Truck. Hello. Need to clean that filter. Yep, it's dirty. And I hate not bragging on the interior more because it really does deserve props. But compared to the engine, the ram boxes, the way this thing pulls, it's, it gets overshadowed a little bit. But this thing is no slouch on the inside. I mean, in my driver door, I've got work gloves, side cutters, step bits, flashlights, ribbon, safety glasses. There's some screwdrivers down there, trailer hitch couplings. I mean, I jam hard, sharp metal objects in every nook and cranny in this truck, and there is not a single defect. Well, I take that back. There's a little chip in the steering wheel. I've showed you this before, but for thoroughness sake, we'll hit it again. That little chip right there from dropping my phone on the steering wheel. Perfect. 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 I jam my razor sharp elbow into this spot for how many drive hours? Over 5,000 hours? No, over 4,000 hours. And it's perfect. I've never had to replace a dash light, a dash knob, a dash switch, anything. There's not a button or controller or handle or piece of plastic or trim that has not held on beautifully. And for that matter, I guess it's worth saying that I've also never had to replace a light on the outside of the truck either. The cargo lamp, third brake, rears, tag light, running light, turn signals. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And so without trying to beat a dead horse too much, I would say the last thing about this truck that I am still exceedingly happy with after 200,000 miles is its general just lack of maintenance requirements. This thing it doesn't take much. I dump 87 octane in the fuel door. I drop it off to get an oil change once every 6 weeks or 10,000 miles, roundabouts there. And that's it. I clean out the filter every once in a while. I'm on the original brake pads. Yeah, original 200,000 miles on these bad boys. And that's towing frequently. Heavy trailers all over the place. Factory brake pads, and there's still meat left. How does that happen? That's like the equivalent of a 750,000 mile motor. I've had brand new brake pads on the shelf for over 2 years, and I just can't bring myself to replacing something that's doing its job so well. Transmission, factory. The fluid, factory. The filter, factory. Never, ever touched the transmission. Now, I mentioned in a couple previous videos that I'm probably going to service it just basically for science. I want to do an oil analysis on the trans fluid and figure out, is it still good or is it not? Because there's so much debate over change it or don't change it. This camp thinks it's lifetime fluid. If you will make it worse if you change it. The other camp thinks those people are crazy. It's fluid, it's going to break down. I don't know where I fall because I haven't been in this situation before, but I believe the guys at the lab that put that stuff under a microscope and a microwave, they do something with it and they say if it's good or bad. And so I'm just kind of curious. And I can't imagine I'm going to make it bad by putting fresh fluid in it. So I think we're going to try that. The air ride, as you see it, I have never done a single repair or spent a single dime on the air ride. As it sits, it functions right now perfectly. Now, I'm not going to get into situations or issues that I've had with it because this is what I like about the truck, what I'm still happy with. And let me just say that even though there's a lot of opinions about the air ride, especially making it to 200,000 miles, I can honestly say that it's here and it's working and it's doing its job day in and day out. So I'm still very happy with the air ride. I didn't put it into its own category because, you know, it's just suspension after all, albeit very good suspension and a very good complement to the whole towing package that is the Ram itself, and that's, you know what I'm trying to say. So a lot of these update videos, either I tell you what's bad because everyone wants to hear what's gone wrong. This is a landmark milestone, and people also deserve to hear what's good about it. This truck is still kicking ass every single day, and it's going to keep doing that for the foreseeable future. I think we're at least going to take it to 250 before I start thinking about maybe planning my exit strategy from the old girl, but time will tell. But that doesn't mean we're not going to do a what am I not happy with after 200,000 miles, because it's not a perfect truck. I don't have the rose-colored glasses on, even though I tell everybody how much I like this truck. I'm not afraid to tell you what about it I don't like. And there are some things. There are things that have broken. There are some things that failed. This thing cost me a lot of money to operate to this level. This many miles, like I said, oil changes every 6 weeks, tires every 9 months. It adds up. It really does. So we'll talk about that in a separate video. Speaking of tires, I do want to say thank you again to Real Truck. Like I said, they are the sponsors of this new season of Truck Central. So thank you very much, guys. They're the ones who sent us those Nitto Ridge grapplers and the 305/45/22. They are my favorite tire at the moment. If you haven't tried them, you should. So head on over to realtruck.com. They've got all your tires, your bed covers, your running boards, your intakes, your tuners, your lift kits, all of it. They've got it all. Leave me a comment down below. You know I look forward to talking to you. And as always, thanks for watching.